I had gastric sleeve surgery, which is one of 3 weight loss surgery options where you have 80% of your stomach cut out. I had years of being overweight and I pretty much chucked the kitchen sink at it. I sold a business and went to a weight loss camp, lost weight, put it back on, and it was a whole lifetime of probably living 60% of what I felt would have been my potential. And weight loss was always my last option. I was with the NHS and I was with them for 3 years and I put on 8 stone whilst waiting to get the surgery. So I suppose it was life or death for me really in that instance, because I was on a sleep apnea machine. I was 32 stone and I wasn't living, I was existing. So it was make or break for me. I had originally scheduled my surgery for February the 26th and I was given an itinerary of what I had to do by my surgeon, which was walking, not smoking, milk diet, etc. My whole attitude and way of life was I didn't really care what happened and I didn't stick to it. And I came up to the day of surgery and the anaesthetist said, you can't have surgery because there's more chance you won't wake up than you will. So I called my mum and I said, I was obviously gutted, and I said, listen. So I left my car at my house and moved in with my mum for 5 weeks and had nothing around me and done a lot of therapy and went back for the surgery. And I remember the first drive down going to have the surgery, my mum said to me, how do you feel? I said, well, I'm not really bothered, if it doesn't work and I die, it don't really matter, that was my whole sort of thing. And then 5 weeks later, after doing a lot of therapy and actually working on me, my mum said to me, how do you feel? I'm really worried. It was about starting to love yourself. I will bang on about therapy because it was such a huge part of my journey. I mean, the sleeve is fantastic because you can't go to those levels of overeating that you could before because it's just impossible. Every aspect of my life, I'm not on a sleep apnea machine, I'm active, I go to the gym. I don't really have ups and downs, whereas before, it was like food was such a mechanism for how I was. I was just coping. I don't think I could have carried on another 2 years living the way I would. It's nice to be able to go out with my mum and her not look at me and worry about, because she said to me, I wish people could see you for who you are, not what you got. I used to get angry at people for worrying, and I can only imagine how heartbreaking it was for her, seeing your son killing himself effectively. I think if I were to summarise simplistically, it would be I live a life of moderation now, whereas beforehand everything was excess. Everything in my life was excessive, whereas now I have complete moderation. Yeah, my life's totally different to what it was. In an amazing way, absolutely. I went on holiday and I took my top off. That's the first time I've done it in my adult life, There's something quite exhilarating about that. And I don't think someone who's not been overweight will understand it. I had so many comments. They said that you just scream happiness. And I've only had good feedback. I'm driven by my own happiness now, which is something I've never had. Self-belief and a bit of self-worth. It's amazing what it can do. None, not one. I've got more freedom now than I've ever had, mentally and physically. So, none, not one. Should I have done it sooner? Perhaps, but I'm living in the moment, so, let's take it on. I'm not fussed, I'm still youngish. I just got a good feeling, and everyone else was saying like 3 to 6 months, whereas Streamline were prepared to meet my excessive nature, of which was I want it now, sort of, I didn't want to wait 6 months, because 6 months to me then was a lifetime. So I met the surgeon and it was all, there was a really good rapport straight away. The whole surgery was good, and I think especially the fact that when I went for the surgery and they didn't do it, it demonstrated that they're a company that care. It could have gone another way, so really good service. The aftercare service has been great. When I started this, my therapist told me to do gratitudes. So I had to do 3 things that I was grateful for every day, and at first it was pretty hard. But it's, again, it's another one of those snowball effects. You find yourself saying you're grateful for everything, I don't know where I could even start. Fitting in an aeroplane seat, not having to go to super-sized clothes shops, snoring less, seeing people happy around me and not that worry in their eyes, There's so many layers to it. The physical weight gone is great, but the mental weight gone is even bigger. I'm creating my own happiness now, and I've never done that, so that's great.